what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?
We look, you can see families were more than willing to go to the box office to support something like the Minecraft movie, while Rachel Zegler's Snow White continues to plunge. Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends. That's how bad it is.
She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is? Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Chicken
It says, meanwhile, over in the kingdom of crumbling crowns, Disney's Snow White dropped like an enchanted apple.
What they really mean is they're describing a worldview that hates you, that hates everything America stands for.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
You know what's interesting about all of this is that the only person waiting in line to see Snow White was Rachel Zegler.
This is what happens when you mix a controversial Disney remake, a star who's lost touch with the audience, and a box office disaster. Right now, that's exactly what's happening with Snow White and Rachel Zegler. It was supposed to be Disney's magical comeback, but instead, it's spiraling into one of Hollywood's most humiliating failures.
There is no doubt about it that Snow White 2025 is considered by far one of the worst box office failures, not just with Disney, but also in the entire film history.
Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie versus Disney's Snow White, which in theory should be quite a battle, but it's not even a fair fight. And it's pretty hysterical, actually.
It barely crawled to $77 million after weeks in theaters. Even with Disney's non-stop marketing, the movie flopped.
Rachel Zegler's Snow White continues to plunge.
All the fallout begins. From the start itself, Zegler's comments stirred the pot. First, she called the prince a stalker, then boldly declared that Snow White didn't need a man to save her. Fans were confused, upset, and outraged. Disney's decision to cast Zegler, paired with her controversial remarks, quickly turned what should have been a magical journey into an absolute disaster.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different, and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
She doesn't need a prince to save her, and not surrounded by 7 weird people. Oh, okay, just CGI fictional goblins, I guess.
Well, we all basically knew that Snow White was going to be a massive failure at the box office because of Rachel Zegler's controversial statement.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
You know, I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it, you didn't direct it, you have nothing to do with the creation.
While Disney fumbled its fairy tale reboot, the Minecraft movie was stacking blocks and stacking profits.
And so let's see how they fared against each other. The Minecraft movie breaks box office record with $300 million global opening, while woke Snow White slips again. Minecraft movie was a big winner, debut weekend, $300 million.
Minecraft movie, which no one expected to be good. Critics had written it off, and honestly, I get it. The movie is based on a game where the main mechanic is punching trees and building houses. Not exactly the stuff of blockbuster legends, right? Yet, against all odds, audiences came out in droves. Kids were cheering like they were at a concert, parents were laughing, and teens showed up dressed to the nines. It wasn't just a movie, it became an event.
Turned over 157 million while earning another 144 million internationally. The Minecraft video game was introduced in 2011 and sold more than 300 million copies. So it actually has a fan base, user base, people that care about.
And for Minecraft, let's be honest, Jack Black was the real MVP here. The man can't help but be entertaining. His character wasn't just a guide through the blocky world of Minecraft, he was the heart of the film.
I just want to tell a fun, exciting story, and every time I've ever made a movie, I go into it going, I want this to be the best movie ever made.
Now let's talk about Jack Black versus Rachel Zegler drama. There was another story unfolding, one that involves Rachel Zegler and some major Hollywood drama. Rumor has it that Jack Black confronted Zegler during the Snow White press tour. He didn't yell, didn't scream, but he did ask her if calling critics trolls was really helping her career. He calmly pointed out that alienating fans wasn't a smart move. Whether that confrontation actually happened or not, the story took off. It represented a deeper issue. One actor trying to protect the audience's connection, while the other seemed more interested in throwing shade at them. And this became a major part of the Snow White disaster.
Excuse me, your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you?
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
What's the bigger lesson here? It's not just about two movies. It's about how Hollywood treats its audience. If studios want to stay relevant, they need to stop viewing their fans as critics to be silenced. Fans want to be respected. They want to be entertained, not lectured. They want filmmakers who care about the story they're telling and the people watching it.
You had the marketing material not being all that good. A lot of advertisements were really mediocre for this film. And to top it off, they made tons of changes and they strayed away from the source material, which upset a lot of fans.
Just like to sit in the back in the dark with no one watching me, just to gauge the audience and see if they laugh as hard as I do.
Today's presentation of a Minecraft movie.
My feeling.
I was gonna say,
it's like they don't know what happens to me. There's gonna be so many stories that come from the set about how difficult I am to work with simply because I don't want apples. It's Hollywood, baby.
Minecraft wasn't perfect, but it understood its mission, bring people joy, and it did just that. On the flip side, Snow White failed because it prioritized a message over the magic.
Why? Encouraging to see a movie that decided to do the opposite of Snow White, which is, according to all available reviews, including from the people that I trust the very most on this platform, it is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with the message. It is just silly fun for kids, which is what a kids movie should be. Teens.
It wasn't just critics who were disappointed. Fans had been waiting for a Snow White that paid homage to the original story, a character they had loved for decades. But instead, they got a completely reimagined version that left them shaking their heads. They wanted nostalgia, not lectures, on how they should view the fairy tale.
And watching the Walt Disney Company absolutely panic over the last few weeks. They're mad at South Park because they're making fun of their woke ideologies, constantly race swapping or religion swapping everything in their movie.
Even South Park joined the controversy, parodying Disney for pushing their woke agenda. And she was not happy with that.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business.
Yeah. Weird. I'm a narcissist.
I don't need your business.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
I don't need your business.
Disney has faced plenty of backlash for changing the story. Rachel Zegler also stated that the movie has removed all traces of romance between Snow White and the prince.
Not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. It's Hollywood, baby.
You to say all of Andrew's could get cut. Like, who are you? What do you think about Snow White? What is the premise? What is the story?
It's a love story. It's a love story.
It's a dream for a girl to grow up and a man falls in love.
This is no ordinary apple, my dear. It's a magic wishing apple. A wishing apple? You offer it to me freely. In place of the patriarchy, you would have a queen! Not white, but diverse, inclusive, and equitable! I will become the leader I know I can be! All shall love me and despair!
Sure, Rachel Zegler's been at the center of the backlash. But is it really fair to pin the entire mess on her? She didn't write the script. She wasn't calling the shots behind the scenes. Still, with her being the face of the film and making headlines for all the wrong reasons, she's become the perfect target. Her bold statements didn't help either. They practically handed critics a reason to pile on.
Why is partially because of Rachel Zegler, but also because of the entire garbage movie itself. We keep blaming Rachel Zegler, and she's an easy scapegoat. I think they're scapegoating her on purpose, but the entire movie was trash. All of Rachel Zegler didn't write Snow White. Right? Rachel Zegler didn't cast Snow White. The studio did. It's a Disney problem. Disney did these things.
Is this a wake-up call for Disney? Will Disney learn from this? Who knows? Maybe they'll continue to pump out soulless remakes, or maybe this will be the wake-up call they need. One thing's for sure. Audiences are tired of settling for mediocrity. They want genuine joy, not recycled messages. They want to feel something real, not be reminded of everything wrong with the world. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was Rachel Zegler unfairly blamed for the Snow White debacle? Or did she dig her own grave with her press mishaps? Should Disney stop remaking classics and focus on new ideas? Or at least stop rewriting the ones that worked? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments.